Catholic News Roundup is brought to you in part by PewSitter.com, your online Catholic newspaper for the third millennium, CatholicMediaCoalition.org, in line with the Church, online with the world.
And TheAmericanCatholic.com, politics and culture from a Catholic perspective.
Hello and welcome to today's edition of Catholic News Roundup. I'm Matthew McAuliffe. Gender testing. Some people are relying on research scientists and marketers to determine whether or not it is ethical to choose the gender of their unborn child. Fox News says the executive director of the Mother-Infant Research Institute at Tufts Medical Center in Boston calls the results of the test impressive and notes doctors of the United Kingdom are using the tests to spot and treat sex-linked diseases in the unborn. However, the news network also acknowledges that these gender tests could be increasing the number of abortions in China and India, where there is heavy discrimination against female children, coupled with crushing population control policies. Fox also says the reasons for abortions in America remain unclear, but it cannot be denied that gender testing on the unborn sets the platform for sex-selective abortions in the United States. You can read the full article on our resource page by clicking the link right outside the screen. No parental consent for transsexuals. Parents in Poland may soon have nothing to say about whether or not their child can have a sex change operation. The effort stems from Ombudsman Irina Lipowitz's statement that those who suffer from what she is calling gender identity disorder are caused more pain and confusion when they are forced to sue their parents for permission, as formal procedure in the country requires. Lipowitz is pushing the issue on the government that, at the request of the Transfusion Organization, which helps treat people for what is considered to be gender identity disorder. You can read the full article on our resource page by clicking the link right over here. Incarcerated transsexual treatments. Wisconsin taxpayers are now paying for transsexual inmates to have hormonal treatments. The new ruling stems from a case that came to court in 2006 when 3 male-to-female transsexuals sued the Wisconsin prison system after their prison began reducing their hormonal treatments in compliance with the state's new Inmate Sex Change Prevention Act. In the latest development, the 7th District Court of Appeals ruled in favor of the plaintiffs, saying that Wisconsin's violation of the Constitution, quote, stems from, quote, removing even the consideration of hormones or surgery, end quote. It is not known at this time if the case will be appealed for further litigation. Stay with us. We'll be back in just a few seconds.
Catholic News Roundup is brought to you in part by NewOxfordReview.org, the voice of Catholic Orthodoxy, in print and on the web, and RenewAmerica.com, expanding the influence of America's grassroots in the cause of freedom.
Basilica refuses pro-life pilgrims. The Notre Dame Basilica in Montreal, Canada has turned away pilgrims from its doors because the pro-life message on their t-shirts sent out a, quote, divisive political message. The leader of the visiting group, president of Pro-Life Crossroads, George Buscemi, says they were only admitted into the church once he threatened to tell the media about the confrontation. Even after that, they weren't permitted to use the front door. Buscemi commented, quote, they let us in the side door like lepers. It was just a really bad experience from a church that apparently espouses our views, end quote. One anonymous employee of the Basilica claims the situation was blown way out of proportion, but you can read further about what he had to say on our resource page by clicking the link right outside the screen. Popemobile Auction, the Lincoln Continental limousine that chauffeured Pope Paul VI around during his visit to America in 1965, is being offered for sale. The custom-built car was assembled after Henry Ford II suggested it as more appropriate in place of the Ford LTD originally requested by the Vatican. The beautiful automobile is expected to fetch as much as $350,000 when it is auctioned off at Bonham's later this month. The auction is scheduled to take place on August 15th. You can read more about the history of the car in the article found on our resource page by clicking the link right over here. I'm Matthew McAuliffe. Thanks for tuning in. Be sure and tune in tomorrow for your daily dose of Catholic News Roundup right here on RealCatholicTV.com. Be sure to check out The Vortex today for RealCatholicTV.com's first day in Spain. Also stay tuned for special reports from Michael Voris, who will be coming to us from World Youth Day in Madrid, Spain next week, right here on Catholic News Roundup. And you might want to check out our website, nobullinmadrid.com, with all the details about where Michael will be appearing. Thanks for tuning in. Be sure to tell all your friends about us. And as always, God bless.